Good evening, everybody. This is your host, Huge Pop, the Huge Pop Wrestling Podcast. We have a special night tonight. Tonight it starts the Wednesday Huge Pop Knockout Night, and we got Mr. Nicholas Vick here. He is the promoter, I would say, for all his models, his boxers, his MMA fighters. And tonight we are blessed to have these wonderful ladies on the camera with us. They're going to share their stories. I will let them introduce themselves. So if we want to start over here with Melissa, go ahead.
Hi guys, I'm Melissa Lynn. I've been working with Nick. I've known Nick for about now. I got into modeling for positive body image, just self up, and I'm also an advocate for
autism. Awesome. CB.
Hi, I'm Christina Barrero. I know Nick. I think it's been like 3 years since I've moved out here. Maybe. Got into the modeling. It just happened. Honestly, I didn't plan on it. I love to support. I love Nick's knockout promotion. Supports my husband even before my husband even got into this whole MMA. He's a great person, and I promote more like the dementia. I've been going into the dementia area right now.
Okay. Awesome. Miss Victoria.
Hi guys. A little bit about me. Okay. Well, I am actually a survivor of stage 4 endometriosis. I was diagnosed with it when I was 20. It was probably the hardest thing of my life. I went through 28 surgeries because of it. And I ended up having a full hysterectomy last year to make sure it didn't come back. But honestly, I just keep my faith in the Lord, and I just, try to push through every day because that's all I can do. I've got 2 beautiful girls. One's turning 3 in like a week and a half. I can't believe it. And the other one, she's 18 months. So
awesome. Congratulations.
Thank you.
Awesome. So, well, nice meeting you, ladies. I'm really good at basic questions. I want to hear about your careers and what's going on. And I love the fact that you guys are all advocates for something different. Autism. We have a cancer survivor. We have CB.
Dementia.
Dementia. There you go. I'm getting older.
Yeah.
I'm in my 50s. All right. No, but I love that. I love that because it just shows that we can all be productive people in a society that really at times stinks, and we're dealt with things. This didn't happen when it was supposed to, because I got news that my mom passed away October 22nd. So
I'm so
we
sorry.
all have that stuff, and thank you. But the reason why I came back to do this is because my mom would want me to do this. She was one of my biggest fans, and she died. She passed away from cancer. But I appreciate you guys have, and your passions that you guys have. And look, we have Christina.
Hey, how's it
There.
going?
Hey.
You made it.
Hey, my TV
Fashionably
here as
late.
well. Come say hello, David.
Hey,
How you doing? Thank you for coming on the
Thank you.
show. Thank you so much. Everybody's introduced themselves. Chris, I'm Scott, Huge Pop Wrestling Podcast guy. Like to introduce yourself, Miss Christina.
Hi, my name is Christina, and I am a spokeswoman and model for Knockout.
Awesome. And like I said, I love Nick's passion. I love what he's doing with you ladies and the MMA fighters and etc. and the boxers. This is such a cool thing, and I'm so blessed to be part of the Knockout brand. So hopefully we'll be doing lots together and building everybody's brand. So let's start off the questions. So career and beginnings. How did you get started in the modeling industry? We'll start with Melissa. We'll just go clockwise.
so that's an interesting that I've always heard from the so even now it's somewhat harder for me, but I'm interesting. So it was kind of something that I didn't want anybody to go through, kind of through getting into it to build up men as well, but mainly for positive, body image, no matter your size, your shape, color, it doesn't matter, that God created us differently for a reason. Kind of the reason
Awesome. CB.
I actually, again, did not plan on this. I've always supported. I was kind of like the side cheerleader for Nick. Whenever he was at an event, I was just like, hey, taking care of everything.
I pulled her by her hair and forced her to do it.
Well, sorry, Nick. No, I don't think you did. I don't think you were successful at doing that because I think she could handle her own. I'm just saying.
Yeah, no, she's her and her husband trained together, so yeah. She probably could take me out easily.
I'm a lover, not a fighter. I can't do that. But I one day he was like, look, I'm doing this and I've already supported it. My family was always like, why couldn't you be a Colgate, person? And you got the smile, got the personality. And I was like, I'm more of an office girl.
All right.
But he was like, do you want to try it? And I said, why not? I'm already there, so might as well support it even more. And I love every minute of it. So
awesome. That's awesome. Victoria.
When Nick first asked me, I was super I was excited, but at the same time I was terrified. I mean, like extremely terrified, because when you go through endometriosis or whatever you go through, like cancer, endometriosis, I don't care what you go through, when your body is making those changes, and it's not for the good, like and right now I'm not even talking about pregnancy, because pregnancy is a wonderful thing, but when you're going through an illness and it's changing your body and you can't stop it, it mentally screws with you. And when he asked me, I'm like, no, I don't know if I can, I don't know. And so when he sent me my first outfit, I'm looking at it going, I have to wear this. And now I actually call it my super suit, because like when I put it on, I feel amazing. Like I feel powerful. I feel beautiful. And I want every woman to know that they're beautiful no matter what you look like. And just like what Melissa said, it doesn't matter what you look like. You are beautiful in your own way. And that's how I got into it. And I'm telling you what, every single time I put it on, I'm like, yep, my super suit's looking good today.
Awesome. And before Christina goes, I gotta say, Victoria, I need to all you ladies, I'd like to hook you up with my wife. You mentioned your body goes through stuff. My wife last year, 2022, she got diagnosed with gastroparesis. That's where your stomach stops working. She would get sick every single day, and she lost like a bunch of weight. And she didn't do it the healthy way. It was because she was sick, and she exactly what you said with it makes you don't feel good that way. You don't feel, and so it does mess with her head. And it's just, as a husband, I love talking to you ladies, because now I'm going to get some ideas of hey, maybe I can say this, maybe I can say that. But I appreciate your story because I can relate. My wife, like I said, she's going through it still. It doesn't go away. Gastroparesis is something that'll be with us for life. But we have to just keep going and keep going and keep going, because we have all this stuff to go for and live for. So I appreciate your story, Victoria. And if you don't mind, I might tag my wife in this video later on, so maybe you guys can connect with her.
Sure,
awesome. Thank you. Miss Christina.
Hey, how are you doing?
Good. How are you?
Good. For me, I absolutely never thought I'd actually be sitting here and thinking that I'd be modeling for such an amazing brand. Not only the brand, but also what it stands for. And when Nick came to me through one of my good girlfriends, Tiffany, who's also a spokeswoman and model for the brand, the one thing that caught my eye was just, and what he said was body positivity. Currently right now I'm getting my physical training certification in nutrition. Like health and wellness are super important to me. But I also am very much into body positivity, and just the same way, like us as women, like every woman is beautiful in any form. We also promoting the idea of being in the best physical and mental shape of your life is super important. And yeah, it was just a great opportunity for me, and I'm excited to see where things go. And yeah, we're gonna knock it out.
Knock it out. Yes. Now, I have that on this set of questions. You guys talk about body positivity. Would you guys all agree that's what inspired you to pursue the career in modeling, that with Knockout, especially?
Yes.
Yes.
Definitely.
Yeah. I think it's a wonderful thing what Nick is doing, because it's helping so many women, especially, who have, again, changing bodies, or, who just don't feel good about themselves. It's something that they can say, wow, look at me. Look how good I look. Like, you're beautiful in your own way, and never let anybody tell you different, because God made you beautiful just the way you are. And don't let anybody tell you that you're not.
We focus on a lot of women, but we also have that same image for the young men out there that do suffer, and it's something that most men don't talk about, I guess, because most people always think men are supposed to have these six-pack abs and big chest muscles, and which is great, but not every man looks like that.
Right.
Obviously we want a healthier lifestyle. I myself was 300 pounds just a few months ago, and I'm working on that same lifestyle and health and fitness myself. I dropped 56 pounds already in just a couple months, healthy wise, not I'm not sick or nothing. So I'm doing it the right way. And just by just dieting and changing my habits, and from nasty habits to a better eating habits, and so on. So it's not only just for the women, but I think it's best for the men too out there, and young men as well.
I got it. I will agree with you, Nick, because I was at 305 about 2.5 months ago. I'm down to 280 now. So and I'm doing it healthy ways, walking more, eating better. So to hear stories like this makes me feel better, because there is hope. And I want people that are watching or listening to this, listen to these ladies and listen to Nick. There is hope, and I love hearing their stories. So I appreciate you, ladies. Can you share some highlights from the early stages of your career? And let's start with Melissa first.
Melissa got all kinds of stories to tell. Let's start with the fact that she doesn't like snakes, and on her. Yes.
So we could go with that one. So Nick thought it was a great idea. We did Orlando Harley, actually one of my very first shows. And yeah, there was this group. Who was it, Nick? Who was there? What's their name?
Some type of zoo out of Orlando.
Yeah.
They look at it. You can find it on our page. I think it's on Melissa's Lynn's page as well.
Yeah.
She just posted on there.
They had like a little alligator, I guess it was, like a baby alligator. And then
They had a monkey, a cute little monkey.
Yeah. So I would have went with the alligator because its mouth was taped shut. It was harmless. I could hold that. No, Nick decided that I was my neck and take pictures. So
yeah.
Petrified of. Yeah, I'm one of the girls that will scream and run. So that was definitely a challenge for me, but I think I did a really good job. The pictures turned out awesome. And
they did.
And something that I can put underneath of my belt, and I would move forward with and rock. So yeah. So
they're on your Facebook page, aren't they?
They are, yeah.
Okay, I seen that. Nick, you're a bully, man.
I said, I didn't even tell her. I said, we're going to face our fears. She's like, what? I was like, well, and I told her at the time she didn't know about the gator, and she didn't know about the monkey until afterwards. And she's like, out of all the choices, I could have had a cute little monkey on me, or a little gator. No, I chose a 12-foot python.
Girl, you were rocking the python, though, I do have to say.
And no idea how I felt, though. Like
afterwards, she was just like, I just held a snake.
Yeah.
Started looking and coming back my way. I was like, okay, we're done. You can take it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Christina.
Okay, so I've not done any MMA events yet. My experiences, I am a local musician in the area, so I am particularly like relative to more of the community when it comes to like promoting myself in that aspect. I've done things in the past, like little like music videos, things like that. But when it comes to something that I actually stand for and can see potential in, and that's going to make a difference for other people, again, going into like body positivity in that aspect, and also honoring your body. Your body's a temple in that aspect, and trying to live your life in the most best ways, physically and mentally. It was something that I really believe that will reach people and make them reach their fullest potential in themselves. And even as a musician, for me, there was a point where I never thought I'd be where I was to where I am now. And it's the same whether it be physically in your health in any aspect, just being positive in general has been such a big impact and motivator for me. And I only want to portray that to others. So I really think that this brand is going to be something that can help people feel that confidence and bring them into even a higher light over time. So
So I got
Thank you.
on that note there. So let me tell you a little quick little story about Christina there. So I talked to her on the phone multiple times in the past. We have a mutual friend, my little sister Tiffany. I call her my little sister. We grew up together. So we talked on the phone. And I said, I'd love to get a chance to meet you. But she sings at this little wine place right down the street here. Literally, you can see it behind me from where I live. So I was like, when I was walking by, and I know her music because I followed her music before. And so I was sitting outside, and you could see her right in the window. So I'm like watching her sing outside. And I don't drink, and I don't want to bother her. I never met her before either, only on the phone. And she saw me out there sitting there watching her sing and everything. I never really met her,
I didn't even know
and
it
then
was you.
I know, and I called her a couple days. She said, "Was that you?" I was like, "Yeah." It seems now that I go back and think about it, it sounds a little weird and creepy. That was Stevie.
I was gonna say, man, you stalker.
I was like,
David,
I
don't
was
get upset.
but I didn't want to bother her because she was working. She was on her set. I didn't think it was inappropriate to introduce myself at that time. But now I go back and think about it. Yeah, I think I might find another way to introduce myself in the future. That was kind of weird.
Now, David is an MMA fighter, correct?
Yeah, David,
He's
come
going to
on
be a
in.
pretend. Yeah, where is he at? What are you so shy
Nick,
for?
Nick, you need to watch yourself, man.
No, David's cool. I just talked to him earlier. We've been talking for a few days now. He's a potential upcoming fighter that we might be looking into sponsoring here soon. So
Awesome.
we're
Nice to
gonna
meet you,
we're
David.
gonna get
Nice
him
to
to the
meet you.
gym over there. With Corey's Christina's husband, Corey, reach out to him. They're living in the same city, I
Okay.
believe, right there in Ocala area. So get with him, find out the gym, see what he's like, and we'll get him on the next fight. Hopefully, if everything works out.
Yeah.
Awesome.
Absolutely. Look forward
Well,
to
nice
it.
to meet you, David. Nice to meet you. I hope to have you on the podcast and down the road. So
Thank you. Nice to meet you too.
nice to meet you. Victoria, can you share some highlights from your early stages of your career?
Victoria has a lot of stories.
Oh God.
I know her for about going on 6 years now. Yeah.
Yeah. Oh God, which one? Oh wow. Thanks, Nick, for putting me on the spot right there. No,
So for a little backstory, so her husband is Johnny Zeke, Corey also, but Johnny Zeke is his wrestling character name. He's one of the first wrestlers for Knockout. He was one of our first heavyweight champions. He's actually the last heavyweight champion we have. So I worked with Corey long before I got a chance to meet Melissa, and then we just became friends over the years. So that's how I got connected with Melissa. Not Melissa, I'm sorry, Victoria. Is through. Melissa's gonna slap me later. So, and that's
He's
how
all-
I got connected with Victoria.
He's all nervous. He's all nervous about what David's going to do. So I mean,
Yeah. I didn't realize how big he was until I just saw him. So
Victoria.
Yeah. When I first met Nick, he was like, now mind you, I didn't know anything about like wrestling or anything like that, and I'm like, okay, but I can say that his company was probably my favorite, just because number one, it's Christian based, and you know, following God is just it's everything. So the highlight of my knockout career, if you will. So as I was talking about my issues with my body, about a month and a half ago, my husband and I decided to go to Disney, and we love Disney, so we're always there. And I was in my knockout gear, and he's like, "How about we take a photo?" And I'm like, "I don't know. Now, mind you, I had the pants on, the sports bra on, but I also had a tank top on as well." And he's like, "Why don't you take the tank top off and just have the sports bra and the pants on?" I'm like, "Well, a little too much out of my comfort zone here." But finally, I'm like, you know what? Heck with it. And so I did it. And I had this young woman come up to me, and she was like, "What's knockout?" So I explained to her, you know, like what it is, and it's Christian based, and you know, so like I explained it to her from literally from A to Z. You know, I gave her like a little backstory about me and stuff like that, and she was like, "Wow, you know, that's amazing." So you know, I just, that to me, I think was my highlight, just because I was able to not only do something for myself, because I'm like, okay, let me step in my comfort zone, but I also helped another woman feel beautiful. And she was like, "If you can feel she's like, if you can feel beautiful, then so can I." And I'm like, "Well, yeah." I'm like, "You're beautiful just the way you are." So I was like my most highlighted part of my journey here.
Okay. CB.
See, we spend a lot more time controlling her husband at shows.
Yeah.
He's
It's like-
wild, man. You'll see next Wednesday when he's on here. He's a wild one.
No.
All right. All right.
Melissa got a taste of it.
Yeah.
I'm extroverted too, so
I am my highlight, I'm gonna honestly, you know, I again, I was more of the back screen or the back person trying to help Nick when he would go mingle around, and Corey being everywhere. Um, so I would be more of the back table, but my highlight, I guess you can say, is when my son was at a wrestling at Timmy Tools,
Yes.
I think it was.
Okay.
And they, you know, they planned it, but they didn't tell me about it. So I just see my son going up in the air and being
Oh no.
on the table, and I'm just
He was
like,
used-
what
he was
is
used as a-
going
yeah.
on? So that was my exciting
He was
moment.
used as a barricade.
That's
Nice.
when I was like, okay.
Nice. The next segment we're going to go talk about is fashion and style. How would you describe, Melissa? How would you describe your personal style? What would that be?
You don't like snakes.
I how to answer that question. Personal style. Nick, how would you describe my style?
Yeah. So yeah, I know there's one thing about all these girls, and I think Melissa, she's very flexible in her style. She has that look, so you can pretty much blend on any way.
Right.
Especially when we do our photo shoots, you can pretty much put her in anything, and she can kind of adapt to what we're looking for. So that's what I like about her. She just comes across very, very workable, I guess. You know, which is nice considering you may not have that one woman that can really fit everything.
Right.
So you have to try to find that right woman. With Melissa, we could pretty much put her pretty much everything, including reptiles, and she pulled it off. So
There you go.
yeah,
I guess
I think that's
professional to, you know, like night and day, and
Yeah.
pull off. So yeah, I do have a professional career too.
Awesome. Well, thank you. Christina, what would be your personal style?
So one of the things that I loved so much about the particular gym wear that Nick designed for me was my music notes. This is kind of separate, but it's correlating in style. But I thought that was really cool that he incorporated my passions with that. So I just wanted to say that out there. My style, I would say, would be along the lines of very like hippie boho to like sometimes like edgy, if that makes sense. Like I got 4 pierced earrings. I like piercings. I like that edginess. So I think it really also just depends on the circumstance. And I think a lot of people can kind of say the same thing, whether you're in like in a nicer attire versus like if I would say my basic self would be more of like I think a boho hippie type style for
Okay.
sure.
Thank you. Victoria, what's your
Piercing.
personal style?
I've never see that's kind of hard for me too. I've never really had like an actual like style, if you will. I was always the kid in like t-shirts and a pair of gym shorts with like sneakers, like a messy bun. But I mean, really, like that's like always been like my style.
Huh?
But the very vibrant colors that Nick had for my gear, those have become kind of like my like everyday now, if you will. So like, I guess I'm coming out with like new styles. It's hard to explain. But
Okay.
let's
I
say
kind
like
of, when I look at these girls and I interview them, I kind of want to feel each one. And Victoria always came across as that like that perky, goofy one, you know. So I always try to do something bright colors, you know, something that's like fun, you know, because you never have a dull moment with her. So I always try to like, all right, you know, how can you be sad wearing bright colors? I mean, come on, really, seriously. So
Right.
so she's always been like, if her to go sign is always like a little tongue out peace symbol. You know, there's actually a picture on our page with that. And I was like, that's your trademark from here on out. That's how you're gonna end every show, right there.
There you go. Okay. All right. There you go. I expect that at the end of the show.
Yes, please. There you go.
So when I ask you to close the show, when I have to say, have you guys say one last thing, you're gonna go like this. There you
Exactly.
go.
There you go.
CB.
I'm more of the give me a dress or some leggies kind of gal. I am loose fitting.
Okay.
I can actually I can dress up and you'll be surprised, or I can wear some Jordans and be fine.
Awesome. Awesome. And I will say this about Nick's the clothes he's designed and stuff. I was talking to him last night. My favorite ones are the t-shirts that have the very colorful puzzle pieces down this way or whatever. That's a sick shirt. I'd wear that all the time, all day long. So
That's
you guys do have some good. You guys have some great gear. So
thank you. That's Melissa's
Uh-huh.
brand there.
Kurt.
Melissa, we already know yours, but we can let you say it again. What has been your favorite or most memorable fashion shoot other than a snake around your neck?
Well, she just came off a fashion shoot just recently.
All right.
So
Yeah. Um. Yeah. Hope we want to go into that fashion.
well, they're on the other side of the fashion shoot. She has this Western wear to turn out really nice. There's some of the pictures that you see on our thing, with the top, the jean shorts, the boots. Like I said, you can pretty much put her in anything and she can really sport it, you know. So she was out there doing that Western look, and it turned out really nice. Her shoot that she did there. I don't know why you're so embarrassed about talking about it. You're a cowgirl, so what?
Those were some good picks. I'll just say that.
Yeah.
Did like professional photos that I've never done. Yeah. Well, out of my zone again, but yeah, it was fun.
Awesome. CB.
I haven't had a photo shoot yet, so I can't comment yet.
This weekend, hopefully, right? Saturday we
Yeah.
have a photo shoot scheduled, so
Yeah.
Okay. All right.
that's gonna be fun. Y'all are gonna love it.
All right. Victoria.
I think my favorite picture or photo of everything was when Nick had sent me my endometriosis fighter hoodie. As soon as I put that on, I was just standing and my husband had snapped a picture of me, and within seconds he sent it straight to Nick, and I'm like, what did you do? And he's like, I just took a picture of you. He's like, you just You just look so like what's the word I'm looking for? Confident in this hoodie. And I think that that was my most prized picture because I felt amazing. So
Awesome.
You can see that picture on our page as well. I think you posted on your page too, didn't you?
yes, I did.
Yeah, so I believe it's on there. It's a very good picture. So,
I checked out, and like I said, I not that I'm a stalker, but I did look at your pages obviously because I had to click to get the send you messages, and I would not if I any of you ladies don't need to be what's the word I'm looking for, embarrassed of what you look like. To be honest with you guys all look comfortable in what you are wearing, all look comfortable in yourselves, and I love the body positivity. You guys are all rocking that attitude, and that just shows in your smiles and your the way you're talking. So, Christina,
Yes, sir.
what has been your favorite or most memorable fashion shoot or runway show?
Ooh. Okay. So never done a runway show. Um, I did have one quote unquote fashion shoot. It was when I had to be 16 or 17, and I'm pretty sure Nick actually used one of those photos as one of my promo photos. I did have the opportunity to work with, I guess you would say, like a PR company to do some photos. And it was really awesome. It was exhilarating to have that moment of just, that self-confidence and being able to just, have a moment where I can love myself and admire and embrace who I am in my own skin. So yeah, it was just like basic photos from casual to just unique different styles to higher end like formal wear. So yeah, it was a fun experience, and I look forward to more of those different experiences and projects in the future.
Awesome. Thank you for that. Stay on the mic. I'll just give you this question. How do you maintain healthy lifestyle and managing such a demanding role that you play, not only in the knockout entertainment thing, but in your regular life as well?
So ironically, I worked in an organic restaurant for 3 years. So I'm very self-aware when it comes to three things. That's my food, my water, and my air. And that's for all of us. How important what you put in your body is what you're getting out of it. And that's what people need to recognize is, what you need is in the productivity of your mind and physically. So I think in general, as I'm acquiring my physical training license in health and wellness, it's very interesting to me the different things I've learned and what certain foods can do for you, especially pertaining to fighting illness. Um, but yeah, I try to maintain that in my daily lifestyle. I mean, me and David, we work out together as much as we can, as well as myself individually. Just feeling not only is it maintaining health, but it's feeling good about yourself and being consistent. And then consistency eventually turns into a lifestyle change. So I'm very adamant about, you know, trying to incorporate that in every aspect of my life, not only in health and wellness, but even like, am I going to wake up at 9 o'clock today or 11 o'clock today or 8 o'clock today? Like it turns to like correlate to every aspect of your life. And once you're feeling good physically and mentally, I feel like there's nothing that can stop you from the potential and the things and the goals that you can acquire in the future. So health and wellness to me is one of the biggest and important factors of maintaining having a wholesome and amazing journey that God wants us to. We are a temple. Like we need to take care of our temple. Our bodies are what provides for us and takes care of us and heals us. So that is something I'm very passionate about.
Awesome. Thank you, Ms. Christina. Victoria, how do you maintain your healthy lifestyle while managing a demanding schedule, modeling, and whatever else you do as a career?
chasing around that little 3-year-old all day, I'm sure.
Yeah, pretty much. Chasing around the field. Actually, my 1-year-old just started walking 2 days ago.
Okay.
So, I'm chasing after 2 kids. And honestly, when I had the endometriosis, there were particular foods that you should eat. There are other foods that you should have that you stay away from. So I ended up just eating like a lot of chicken, a lot of leafy greens, a lot of vegetables, a lot of like fruits. And so I just stuck with that because when you have like going through endo for 10 years, it just like that diet just became a regular everyday thing for me.
Right.
I try to cut out soda as much as I can, even though I'm like terrible with it. But I try, just to stay with like Gatorade or water or so on and so forth. But mainly it's because I'm chasing after 2 kids now.
Okay.
Right.
CB, what about you? How do you maintain your healthy lifestyle?
Um, I'm not gonna say I'm healthy. That would be lying. I'm sorry. I give it to everyone that does stick to a healthy lifestyle. Having my husband, who is a fighter, he does have certain foods that he eats, and I'm usually right along with whatever he is doing. So he does a lot of protein. I try to stick with that. The kids too. Um, I work a full-time job. I'm a full-time mama when I get out of there. And on weekends, it's if Nick says, "Hey, we got an event," me and Corey are off doing that. But it's just about balancing everything. It's hard. It's never going to be easy. And just repeating it every day. I get up at a certain time every day. I have breakfast in the morning. I don't eat past a certain time. And I try to keep my salad. I love salads, so that's a good thing. I'm
Right.
always eating a salad with everything. So, and my kids, I have to, in order for them to be healthy, I have to show them to. And that's been our goals, I think, for since Corey's been fighting for the 2 years. So,
Okay. Well, thank you.
mhm.
Miss Melissa, how do you maintain a healthy lifestyle?
I tend to think I'm a pretty good health eater. I've been in the health field for well over 10 years. Uh, so I kind of know what my diet is. I know what my body needs, stuff. So it helps me stay in my uh, so yeah, I do. I work for who's 20% care as well. And free, so yeah, do it. You have to. You know, I- what- good diet.
Okay, thank you. Christina, what
Yeah.
challenges did you face in your modeling career and how did you overcome those?
So, against upcoming in this idea of a modeling career, one of the things I have to say is societal pressure. Um, you know, I'm 27 now, but growing up as a kid, before even like social media was more of a thing as it is today, I remember just looking at magazines. Like I would love like Life magazine or Women's Health or things like that, right? Like just any of your basic Cosmopolitan. And you look at these girls and you're just like, you compare. As a woman, we're in a society where we are constantly, I mean, if anything, abused in the physical eye, in my opinion. So, and not really centered to what a real woman stands for and not only the beauty that lies within their mind, but within their heart and who they are. So seeing these women that were, pencil thin, 5'11", like all the ideas that make it seem like that's how a woman should be, that was something I always found very intimidating. And I'm pretty sure most women do. I mean, even looking on a billboard or looking on a commercial and seeing a woman in a certain aspect as to how it should be. I feel like nowadays it's becoming more open to body positivity where you see more people in a natural element because this is reality. So reality versus a fantasy world of which, that this is what's in. But being at the end of the day, I think being healthy and maintaining yourself and doing the best that you can and just being who you are in your own identity is what people want to relate to. So my biggest challenge was always overcoming the expectation. So I believe right now, and especially in this brand, is going to give the expectation based on the individual. So I think that that's something that is very,
Yeah,
it's
absolutely.
inspiring.
Absolutely. Every lady here has their own personal stories and had been through all their stuff that they've been through. So my next question would be, we'll start with Victoria. How do you handle the criticism and stay confident in the modeling business and in whatever you do in your regular day life?
Oh, the criticism is not easy. I can tell you that. When I first took one of my first pictures with my outfit on, I had sent it to some of my family. And it was like, oh, well, and they just kind of just looked at it like, oh, well, you shouldn't be showing your scars. You shouldn't be doing this. You shouldn't be doing that. Have more respect for yourself. And I'm like, but I am. I'm doing this for myself because I don't feel good in my body. I feel horrible about my body because I've been a piece of meat on a slab for the past 10 years. And when you go through that, you also and the worst critic is yourself. Like, I don't care who criticizes you. Your worst critic is yourself. And I finally had to look in the mirror and say, stop criticizing yourself.
Yeah.
You've gone through hell and back. And, just be positive and just love yourself for who you are because God made you exactly the way you're supposed to be. So I think that was the hardest thing about the criticism was not just from my family, but mainly myself.
Awesome. And go ahead.
Oh, sorry. So when I talked to Victoria, and honestly, I knew about her history. Obviously, I was there for 6 years of that 10 years of her life, and so I know exactly what she's been going through. And it's something I told across her. And it's like, instead of hiding those scars, embrace them because that makes who you are today. So it's best just go out there and show. So there's other women that are going through the same thing that you're going through. So it's very important to tell your story, so you could be that role model, that influence for that other girl who's like, is going through that same thing.
Right.
And the last thing we want them to do is take it too far and end their own lives because of that deep depression they may occur because of this situation, that scenario. And I say, but tell your story, let people see these things and embrace it, because that's your history. That's, the stretch marks, the scars, all that. That's, it's a woman's history is written around their body, and it can be a good thing, a beautiful thing.
Absolutely.
So and there's nothing wrong with that.
Well, and that's another thing about with the criticism and everything. You do take it, and like the depression that comes with it is very real. People will say, "Oh, get over yourself. You'll get better." Okay, well, I may get better, but just because I'm getting better doesn't mean that that's not going to stick with me for the rest of my life. Doesn't mean that I'm not going to look in the mirror and go, I remember when those scars were from. But to get through that, that's when you have to say, I won.
Yeah.
I beat it. I won the battle, and it's never coming back. And if I can help at least one or two women, I've done my job.
Absolutely.
The criticism that we have here is, Sarah, there's an old nursery rhyme that we all know, we all heard it, and it's one of the biggest lies we tell our kids today. It's like that stick and stones might break my bones, but the words will never hurt me. Is one of the biggest lies we tell our children. Because even sticks and stones, you break a bone, it heals. Melissa's in the medical field. That bone normally heals and heals back stronger. But words are pierced, and they're very dangerous.
Yep.
The most powerful muscle we have in our mouths or in our body is the tongue.
Yep.
The tongue can create wars and it can stop wars. So it's very important what we say to people.
And I use with my kids I work with. I use the toothpaste example. The toothpaste, there's the toothpaste comes out of a little hole.
Yeah.
And you ever try to put the toothpaste back in the tube?
No, yeah.
It's impossible.
Exactly.
And then what does it create when you try to put it back in the tube? It creates a mess, And so whatever comes, so we talk about that at our house here and stuff like that. And I was going to go further I was going to say this the last, when I was going through the grieving part with my mom, and it makes more sense to me now. There's a verse that I stand strong on right now, Psalms 30:11-12, that talks about finding joy in our mourning. Well, our mourning, for me, it was the death of my parents. For maybe Victoria, it might be the criticism, or Melissa or Christine, or it might be the criticism, whatever. We need to find joy in that. And what I find by just talking to you ladies and hearing your voices and hearing your stories, you got that. You guys have that joy. And it's so cool to meet some women like that have gone through or are still going through stuff like that can find the joy somewhere, whether it be the words, whether it be people. Because Victoria, man, your story that you just told is amazing. When you can say you have family members that say, "Why are you showing your scars?" Well, hey, you know what? I love my body. I look good in my body, to me, and that's all that matters. My wife and I are reading. Well, she's reading more than I am, but I ain't reading. But there's a book called The Art of Giving an F, and it talks about giving too many Fs. And I'm telling you, here in the last couple of weeks, I've realized that I gave too many Fs. And I stopped, and that's where all the weight would start coming off me, because I gave too many Fs. I worried about everybody else's stuff but mine. And then at the end of the day, now you start worrying about your own stuff, and you start eating like a whatever and not caring. But now that I don't give a F about everybody else's stuff, it's changed. Plus, finding joy in every situation. So Victoria, I appreciate your story that you shared. I really do.
Thank you.
You're welcome. CB, can you share any challenging events in your modeling career or in your that got you to where you're at?
Again, with my modeling career, it just started, but it's not something I always thought about. But I had people that would criticize. I was either too skinny, way back when, or I'm, bigger, and you get those people that put things in your head. Words do hurt. I've been through that. I felt it. And it can happen to a woman or a man. It just affects people in different ways. I strongly stand for this brand because, again, it's Christian based, like Victoria said. My kids look up to me and my husband, and I want to show them that no matter what, look, he's fit. Me standing next to him, he's like muscles. He's got all not the 8-pack yet. He had it, but it's got to go back to it. But me, I'm on the chunkier side. I'm not, the 5'11", 160, I think it is, that models are supposed to be. But my son is on the chunkier side. My daughter's very vibrant. She's you'll probably meet her. Hopefully we get a line of clothing for them, because I think she'll do awesome in that.
Yeah.
We're working on it.
My son is on the chunkier side. He's more like me, he's got the big thighs, the big butt, and he's like, Mom, all the girls, he's in 5th grade. And I'm just like, don't worry about what anybody says. You'll be fine. It'll, no matter what anybody wants to tell you, look at how me and your dad are. Look at how many people didn't believe on what he can do. Look at how many people didn't believe that I would be where I am at today.
Right.
We both grew up in very different era, than what kids are provided now.
Yeah.
And I tell him, just I want to be that person where it's not just adults looking up to us, but as well as the kids, because the kids are the future. I want them to be proud. Them going to school and saying, "Oh, my dad does this, and he wears this, and he does that, or mommy does this, and mom does that." That's what I want. My daughter's seen all the girls' pictures. Like, she's on Facebook with me only.
Yeah.
She doesn't have her own, but she sees everybody, and she's just like, "Oh, look at how pretty she is, and look at how she looks in that. She's so gorgeous, and look at her." Like, I love it. That's what I want to see in all the children.
Absolutely.
I'm a child lover. I love kids to be positive about themselves. I know adults go through their trials in life, but it's harder when you're a child growing up in an environment and then having to think that you're going to live it. Because I was that child before. I was always down, and I had to learn to grow out of it on my own. I want kids to know that there's ways for you to do that and knock out, they, with the wrestling, the MMA, they're not just sticking to one thing. They're not sticking to one body size. They're not sticking to one sport. They do everything. And that's why I'm like, yes, this is why I want to be a model now, I guess. And soon, it'll be everywhere. And that's the goal.
That's awesome.
I remember one thing that stuck with me when I talked to CB, when it stuck to me to this day. I remember asking her about it. We're at an event, I believe. I was like, "Do you mind wearing like the sports top, the leggings, to stretch your pants?" I said, "Are you okay with that? Because I want to make sure every girl's comfortable in what they're wearing, by all means." She looked me right in the eye and said, "Honey, I got curves and I look good." And I was like, "That's right." That's right.
I love to eat, and it goes in all the right places.
There you go. There you go. Nothing wrong with that.
That's right.
Role models and inspiration. So, Melissa, do you have any role models or inspiration that got you into what you're doing? Is there anybody that, like, hey man, this is who I look up to?
Well, other than me, who else? No.
I honestly don't. Honestly, I've been alone most of my life, so kind of started out. Yeah, I think.
Okay. Christina, are there any specific individuals who have influenced you in your career choices and etc.?
It's a really good question. Yeah, I guess I would say, God. I know that's really just vague, but I don't know. The universe and God, I feel like, has guided me in certain ways, and I'm just thankful that I've listened. I think it's a lot about listening and really following your heart. And God even says, "I'll give you the desires of your heart." So I think that's a big part of that.
Right. Absolutely. Absolutely. Miss Victoria, how do you stay inspired and motivated?
Calling her at 7:30 in the morning every morning so far. No.
She gave you that mom eye. You better be careful.
Exactly.
I'm watching you, Nick. Honestly, my role model was my grandmother. She was such an amazing woman. She unfortunately passed away last year. She was my best friend. She had gone through a lot when she was a young girl. Health issues, body images, stuff like that. And I can remember after I was diagnosed with the endometriosis and my body started changing a lot, and it wasn't for the good, and surgery after surgery, surgery after surgery after surgery. I can remember turning to my grandmother and saying, "Yaya, what do I do?" And she said, "Honey," and the word she said to me was, "Trust in the Lord and you will be fine. Trust in the Lord and you will be okay." And those words always stuck with me till this day. And no matter what I do, I always hear her voice in the back of my head telling me that it's going to be okay.
Yeah. Now you call her Yaya?
Yes.
That's what my grandbabies call my wife. They call her Yaya. So
Oh, really?
I'm Papa. She's Yaya. So.
Oh, nice.
And I'd be honest with you, if we have 4 grandbabies, and they are why we do what we do, and why we decided to get better health, because we take it for granted at times. So,
Right.
the CB, how do you stay inspired and motivated?
God, first and foremost, He's always there first in our household. What keeps me besides that is my husband and my kids. Honestly, my husband inspires me all the time. I'm sure he'll tell you his story, but he's been through a lot just like I have, and I am so impressed on how he proved to every family member that did not support him, and it makes me feel like, yes, I get to be a part of that. So that keeps me going because I keep him going. So what he says. So we're kind of like each other's, pull and push, I guess.
Yeah.
And the kids, having the kids, they're always right there. They're starting to run now, Victoria. Wait until they get 9 and 10 and think they're 18 and 19.
Oh, God.
But
All my kids have moved out of the house.
There you go.
Oh, no.
Yeah, I want them to say too. But yeah, they're my inspiration. All of my family, keeping them
Okay.
positive for them.
Cool. So this question will be for everybody. We'll start with Melissa. Advice. What advice would you give someone aspiring to become what you are, a model?
Just a person in general, a good person, inspire someone.
That be your kind of beautiful. My motto. Work to be, not let anybody put them down, dull them. Only let people sharpen you. Let people take your light. Shine the way that God created you to be. Keep being who you are. He created us uniquely, and we are fearfully and wonderfully made, for sure. And we need to keep going with that in life and believe in ourselves. Have that self-love. Keep building yourself up so you can pour out to others. We can't pour from that. That's taken me a lot of years to learn. I didn't have, I had a different kind of upbringing as well, and really had to learn that myself. So I think just putting myself in other people's shoes and understanding what their walk is like, where they're at, and loving one another, and who you were created to be.
Awesome. Thank you, Melissa. CB, what advice would you give to someone that would want to be a knockout model?
We're probably going to be saying the same thing, but just to be yourself, shine bright. No one's the same. No one has the same trait. It's always a little different, and there's nothing wrong with that. Be aware that you'll be judged, but don't take it personally. And just smile, put God first if, that's what their belief is. I know putting him first in my life, it's been doing wonders. So just to smile and shine bright with that.
Would you agree with that, Victoria?
Most definitely, I would. Most definitely. I honestly agree with everything that every lady has said. Being true to yourself is hard sometimes, because you hear and see so many things, and kind of like what Christina was saying about seeing like these models who are gorgeous. But at the same time, you need to look at yourself and say, I am just as beautiful.
Yeah.
Because I am me. I don't need to be 6'1", 110 pounds soaking wet to be gorgeous. I can be gorgeous just the way I am.
Absolutely.
And, you know, I hope that every man and woman remembers that you are handsome, you are beautiful. And as I've always said, you're a badass no matter what you do in life. You know, just walk through life and triumph through life, because once you do that, nothing can stop you.
That's right.
Absolutely. Thank you. That's awesome. Miss Christina. I'll just ask you a different question. Where are we at? Oh, okay. How do you handle the pressures of expectations that come with being a model?
Did we ask that already?
Did I?
Yeah.
Oh,
So-
baby,
There's
I
no
did.
pressure here. Yeah.
Well, okay, then give me some advice if I want to be a knockout model. There you go.
Again, just like all the other ladies said, shine your light and don't let anybody take your light from you. That's another thing too I've recognized is people are going to try to bring you down, and you have to stand by who you are and know that God made you uniquely and perfectly for his own purpose. And yeah, that's it.
Okay.
It's something
Last
I've
two.
noticed. Something I've noticed that we got into this, especially for me. You know, when you're in the spotlight more, it seems like more and more people are going to start talking about you, but you're going to have a lot more people standing behind you. So you just have to learn to block out the noise. You block out the noise and focus on the goal. Let your actions, speak volume. So that's what I have learned most of this. That's something that goes for everyone here as well. You're gonna get weirdos. You're gonna get those haters. You know what? If you don't have someone talking negative about you, then you obviously you reached the goal then that you're looking for. You're
Yeah.
making waves.
That's
You know?
right.
So
Gotcha. It wouldn't be a huge pop wrestling show if I didn't ask my kid questions. I have kids. I have 8 of them. They ask these questions, so I'm going to run them down. You guys can just shoot random answers. What's your favorite food?
Dino chicken nuggets. Hello.
Oh,
Melissa,
Pizza.
CB,
Turkey. I'm waiting for the turkey.
Victoria,
All year.
Sushi.
Christina.
Nice.
she stole mine. It's sushi too.
That's not fair. That's just not fair. So, Melissa, does pineapple belong on pizza?
No.
Yes.
Yeah.
Nope.
Yes.
No.
Oh,
Yes. It,
No.
Weirdo.
Definite no.
No.
Okay.
Sorry,
yes,
Melissa.
it does.
That's inhumane.
Yes, it does.
Melissa, they're just all haters. Okay.
Listen,
I'm a hater already.
spicy, so pizza can go sweet and
There you go.
Yeah.
I use hickory barbecue sauce on my pizza. So
Oh, okay, I can see that.
yeah. So, favorite movie, Melissa?
Moana.
oh gosh. Favorite movie.
Definitely Moana.
The
Okay.
Note.
Pinocchio.
I'm gonna say,
Pinocchio.
you haven't even watched all the
She
yet.
said the Notebook. That's
Oh, I
the
thought you
The
said
Notebook.
Pinocchio. I was like, whoa, that's all
I
right.
thought you said Pinocchio. I was like, all right.
Christina.
Lion King. Hello, Lion King.
Okay.
The Greatest Showman.
That is a good movie.
Yeah, it's a good one.
So do you ladies watch any TV series? And if so, what's your favorite TV series?
Oh,
Yellowstone.
I cannot wait for that to come back.
Oh man, I love that show.
I'm like old school. Saved by the Bell. Anybody remember that? Zach
Oh, yeah.
Morris.
Yes.
Zach, yes. Screech, yeah.
They
Yep.
remade it. You know that, right?
Yes, yes.
Yes. Yep. It's not the same. It's not
No.
the same.
Christina.
Seinfeld.
Okay.
Yeah.
Victoria.
Oh, favorite TV show. Oh my god.
I love Seinfeld.
Oh, this is bad.
Sure, has something to do with Disney. I'm sure.
You said, yeah, come on. There's got to be a Disney show.
Honestly, the one that I used to watch as a kid was
2%.
Jesse.
Jesse.
Ah,
yeah.
yes. Definitely.
Yeah.
Yeah. How about you, Melissa?
I think we're almost done in 2 seconds.
Yeah, we're almost done.
If we're going back, I would say Happy Days.
Happy days. Okay. How about,
Ooh, yeah.
what about you, CB?
My show was Yellowstone,
Yellowstone,
Outer
that's right.
Banks.
So, what are your future goals? And end the show. You can end the show like this, or what? But what
Yes.
Melissa, what's your future goals?
Self-love.
Okay. CB.
I'm working on mines on a promotion at my job for sales, which is out of my box.
Awesome. Victoria.
Loving my body and accepting who I am.
Awesome. Christina.
I'm going back to school, so starting a new path in my career.
Awesome.
Nice.
Awesome. That's incredible. Ladies, I've enjoyed my time with you guys. Nicholas, thank you for bringing us. Is it Nick or Nicholas? You got Nicholas on your thing. I feel more comfortable
right.
calling you Nick.
It's okay. I've been
So what do
calling
you
a lot
got?
worse.
What do you ladies call him?
Nick.
Nick.
No, we're not allowed to say that. Okay, good. You guys are being nice. All right.
Nick, thank you for this opportunity. I look forward
Thank you.
at Huge Pop Wrestling Podcast. I look forward to becoming a part of the Knockout, and I hope that Knockout and Huge Pop can collaborate and do something cool going forward. I think this is the first step to awesomeness. I love the positivity brand that you guys do. That's the type of thing I want to bring to the Huge Pop Wrestling Podcast, and I can't wait. I know I have a Monday show. It's called Christian Wrestling Federation. It's CWF out of Rockwall, Texas, and it's like this just fits right with them, and I love that fact. Thank you, ladies, for taking the time out of your schedule. I hope I didn't waste your time.
Nope.
I hope we
Not
can
at all.
hope we can talk again. And I would really seriously, I will probably Facebook each of you my wife's name because she would probably really could benefit from your guys' stories and stuff. Because like you guys have all said, we all go through some issues, and I'm not gonna lie, there's days that I even struggle with what am I doing, and but having podcasts like this and speaking to ladies and Nick like I do tonight, this just re-energized me, and I'm like, oh, you know what? This isn't bad. Life is great, and thank you again for you guys' time. And I'll let everybody, starting with Nick, say goodbye. I'm going to play a closeout song. Please don't go anywhere because I'd like to talk to you guys in the lobby for a few seconds, okay? So, Nick, go ahead and say goodbye.
See you guys.
Be kind to yourself.
Be safe.
Love yourself.
One love.
Victoria, we're going to have to start this all over again. Victoria, you didn't do it. Okay. So,
Victoria messed it up. Victoria, do your thing, girl.
I think I messed it up.
I missed it. Thank you, ladies. Thank you, Nick. Like I said, I'm going to close the show. And, I'll see you in the lobby.
All my dogs, make some noise up in this house. Who is in the house? Who is in the house? It's the gangster of destruction.